Hey guys, welcome to Experience, the show where I, Indy Saggu, and my film crew take you from the largest expos to the smallest outings and ask and answer one simple question: is it worth the experience? Today we return to EB Games Expo at Sydney Olympic Park. Today there's going to be a major presence from Sony. We're going to check out the latest games from the major publishers. We're going to see some new hardware and of course lots and lots of cosplay. This year's special as we're here for 2 days. On the Friday we're here as media, and on the Saturday we'll be using our Express Gamer Pass worth $200. Last year, while we did enjoy the event, overall it was quite disappointing. Let's see if EB Games 2016 is worth the experience. Let's find out. Last year, the Nintendo booth was our favorite. Now tell us more about Nintendo. We have Kirsty. Hello, Kirsty.
Hello, thanks for having me. Very excited to be here.
No, as are we. Could you tell us what's Nintendo showing off today at the Expo?
So here at EB Expo, we're actually super happy to be able to bring our consumers the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild demo. So this is the first time Australians who didn't attend E3 are able to get their hands on with this really in-depth demo and see what's coming out for the new Legend of Zelda title.
Fantastic. So since the next one on the line, is it a new concept, is it a new game, or is it continuing on from a different sort of game as well?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of everything, I suppose, with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Obviously, there's a much more open world concept with this new title, and that's what we're really excited to show people in the demo. So people who experience the demo are going to experience that real freedom of movement within the game. It's not quite as linear as perhaps you're used to experiencing in previous Legend of Zelda games, but you've got crafting, you've got cooking, which is a bit of a favourite of mine personally, but you've also got just this really expansive world that you can explore, and you can interact with your environment in entirely new ways. And half of the fun of actually playing this demo is being able to experience how you can enjoy the environment around you as well.
I had a quick look and the art looks fantastic as well. It looks like all the graphics and everything as well looks just brilliant. Do you know if there's anything in the future regarding Zelda games? Like, we've got the 30th anniversary now, this year. So would you know if there's anything in the future alluding to more stuff?
Well, I mean, obviously this Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is coming out next year, 2017. Can't really say beyond that. We are excited to bring it, of course, and as you mentioned, that art style is just so evocative. Like, it's sometimes can be really hard to explain how you feel playing this game. So we're just, again, so excited to bring it to our consumers to get them a taste of what's to come.
Exactly. Now, moving on, we've got the new Pokemon titles coming up.
Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, Pokemon Sun and Moon, of course, is our next generation of Pokemon games coming out in November. We're super excited. It is set in a new region. We have the Alola region, which is really tropical. We've seen, of course, a lot of information coming out about new kinds of Pokemon, new Alolan region-specific Pokemon as well. So we're really excited for consumers to really get into this new generation of Pokemon, this new experience with Pokemon.
So will there be any more information in regards to that here as well?
Oh no, we do have a Pokemon Sun and Moon themed area, so for consumers to really get excited for Pokemon Sun and Moon coming up as well, which we've got also some tournaments, some information about the game. Very exciting times.
So what are some of the other titles that Nintendo's showing off today?
So we're so happy to bring a bit of a family area as well. We've got a lot of Mario titles on display. Of course, we do have the upcoming games Paper Mario Color Splash. We've got Mario Party Star Rush as well for play here. Lots of Mario Kart. Can't get away from that Mario Kart. Love that game. So we're just really excited to get people really anticipating these great new Mario titles.
Fantastic. Now, last year we had the Mario Classic Pipe, and
Yes.
this year we've got the Master Sword as well.
Yes, we do. So again, to get people really excited about Legend of Zelda, this is of course the Breath of the Wild Master Sword. So for those who get to play the demo, they'd recognise that piece of artwork as well. So it's great getting people to actually hold the Master Sword and pose with the Master Sword. It's fantastic to bring that tactile experience.
I'm sure we'll all do it as well.
Oh yes.
It's brilliant. Now, like I'm sure there's been whispers and things of a new console. Are we able to find out a little bit about like a name or what's dimensions or anything like that?
Oh no, so we do have the Nintendo NX. It is coming out in March 2017. That's all I have to say on the matter.
All right, tight-lipped as usual. That's fine. It's all good.
Exciting.
But that just makes the reveal all better, doesn't it?
It's going to be
Brilliant, brilliant. So for today's Friday, tomorrow's obviously Saturday as well. So we've got more things to show off as well, or is this pretty much exactly what we're seeing now?
It's what we're seeing now. We have got, of course, the Zelda demo ongoing. We've got some great stage activity happening. We've got cosplay competitions for people to win a chance to play the Breath of the Wild demo. So just heaps of fun to come here, chill out, get some Street Pass happening, of course. New Street Pass Plaza. Super excited. So yeah, for everyone to come and have a great time here at EB Games Expo.
Brilliant. And the one thing I love about the Nintendo booth as well, especially the rest of the team, it's so colourful, welcoming, and it's just really nice to be there. So thank you very much, Kirsty.
No, my pleasure.
Great help. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
Our keynote viewers may have seen him before, but we got Zeke here talking about Rock Band Rivals. How you doing, Zeke?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Can you tell us a little bit about the game, please?
Alright, so Rock Band Rivals is the new expansion pack coming out for the Rock Band game. As you can see behind me, we're pumping it up here on stage, and I should turn the microphone back on. We're going to do it live. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, make some noise! As you can see, I'm emceeing here today at EB Games Expo. I'm here all weekend. We're promoting the new game, the expansion, all kinds of fun stuff. It's great.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, about the game, what makes it different to the previous titles?
All right, so there's more songs. Did I mention more songs? So, honestly, just more songs, yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
More songs?
More songs.
Oh, wow.
Everyone loves more songs. I love more songs, you love more songs. I mean, it's just like, it's fully sick.
It is, it is. It is.
I had to do it, I'm sorry.
All right. So are the songs from this year or previous years as well?
All right, so we got a genre of songs ranging from the 1960s all the way to current.
But at the end of the day, more songs.
More songs.
Fantastic.
Means you can rock out harder.
To more songs.
To more songs.
Fantastic. All right. So why the title Rivals?
Because we're all rivals in the end. We may be a band, but we're really just trying to be like Axl Rose and go our own direction, but then realize 10 years later that we should probably reform the band and go tour Australia.
That's right.
Guns N' Roses.
So in the end, we're our own John Lennon and our own Yoko Ono's at the same time.
That is very true. Yes. That was deep. Deep like a lasagna.
Layered.
Oh, that is true. Very good. Ooh.
More songs.
Deep like a tandoor.
Oh. That's hard like a thunder as well. That's right.
Screw right, put it in.
So that's Zeke with Rock Band Rivals. Thank you very much, Zeke.
Thank you.
More songs. talk about all things Xbox, we have Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm not bad, sir. Thank you very much. So how are you finding the Expo today?
EB Expo's just been fantastic. Yeah, we've had a whole bunch of people, Xbox fans through this morning. We just had a keynote as well, where we had a whole bunch of international developers join us on stage as well to talk about their upcoming games this holiday season. And just the whole reception in the audience, people coming through the booth, just absolutely fantastic. We love it.
So how many times have you come to the EB Games Expo?
It's funny. So I'm a bit of an industry veteran. So these days, I'm well up over 10 years of coming to EB Expo. So it's a long time, but it's always fun and interesting because you've always got the hot new thing coming out that Christmas, and so you're always talking about something new, and the reception for people coming through the booth is just always fantastic.
So you mentioned you've been with the industry for quite a while. When did you first get into gaming?
Yeah, so it started a long time ago, where I was a fan of games. So back from the original, I had a Amstrad CPC 464 with a tape deck that I used to type in the games, and went on to things like owning a Vectrex and your early Atari. So I had a love of games from very early on, and then somewhat fortuitously. I was doing some work at a retailer, World for Kids, that's no longer around anymore, and was sort of specialising in it was at the launch of N64, which is a really exciting time. To see Mario 64 in 3D was pretty phenomenal and exciting. And
I remember those days as well, actually.
Yeah. And so then I managed to get a job with an independent games distributor at the time, a company called Roadshow Interactive, who were quite big back then. And really career went from there. So worked for a couple of different interactive games companies and a film company as well. But been at Xbox now over 10 years in Australia, and it's just fantastic that every year you've got a brand new slate of games to bring to market. You've got new features on the service, new hardware to launch. So even though it's 10 years, it really doesn't feel like it because it's so interesting every single year.
Of course. Now, you're the head of Xbox Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
So what was it like having Phil Spencer, the mega head of Xbox? What was it like him coming here?
It's so exciting for us. Someone of Phil's stature in the industry to come to Australia to interact with. We've been telling him for a while that the best Xbox fans are in Australia. And so it's great that he's finally been able to see that firsthand. But it really is, reception from the community has just been amazing. Australian fans and the culture and the community that they've built really is second to none. It's a really inclusive community. When people meet Phil, they're very, they're nice, they're respectful, they're, happy to see him, and they're happy to tell him how much they love Xbox. And what he can do for them to make it better. So just fantastic to have him here and have him see the local scene. But also, I think he talks to the industry well in that we're not about platforms, we're not about one game versus another. We're all here to celebrate an art form that we love and create a fun community for anyone. And so it's just been fantastic to have him here.
So you could say gaming brings everyone together pretty much.
Yeah,
it does unite a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic. So being part of the Xbox project, could you tell us a little bit more about the One S?
Yeah, so we launched the Xbox One S. We announced at E3. We launched it in Australia in August, starting with a 2 terabyte version. But really we wanted to take the opportunity to take the feedback that the fans have been giving us on what they didn't like about the original console and look for ways that we could improve that experience in their homes. So people told us they didn't like a big power brick, so we got rid of the big power brick. They said, we would love it to be smaller, so we made it smaller. And then we were really interested in some of the emerging television technology that we see coming through. So things like 4K. So we built into the box that your games will upscale to 4K. Using the processing power of the Xbox One S, but we put in streaming 4K, so in Australia you can use Netflix to get 4K. But we also knew that in some markets, internet is challenging. Australia being one of them, not everyone has a fantastic connection where they can get 4K Netflix streaming. So we also put in a 4K ultra high def disc player as well. And so there, in Australia, I know me personally, I can't get enough bandwidth to download a 4K Netflix stream, so a 4K disc is a fantastic option for me to show off a 4K screen and to get the highest resolution content. But we also added in high dynamic range, so that's really something that adds a richness and a vibrancy to the colours and the contrast. And is really in the next generation of televisions that we think offers a really immersive experience. It's almost similar to the leap that you get from standard definition to high definition. We think it's that material to the experience. So
I've seen it on display today, and it does look amazing. It looks very sleek and clean and minimalistic almost.
It is.
Was that all part of the design process as well, to keep it as simple as possible?
Yeah, we wanted for it to signify change and for people to really say, we've heard your feedback and this is a very different console than the last one. And so you see that in the physical design. It's white instead of black, it's significantly smaller, but it's also kept a lot of the design architecture of the previous one in there, where it still looks like an Xbox, albeit a slightly different design.
So since August, what's the feedback been of the One S?
It's been absolutely remarkable. So everywhere that we've launched it, it's selling phenomenally well. So here we've been absolutely just bowled over by the reaction from fans. They're picking it up in record numbers. It's really selling fantastically well, and then they're really going out there buying the content to make the most of it as well. So Forza Horizon 3 just out this week, set in Australia, but one of our first titles to have high dynamic range in there as well, and just the visuals, upscaled to 4K. The Australian landscapes never looked so good.
Exactly. So in a way, this would also incentivize developers to create better games or better looking games to fit the actual module itself.
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll certainly support with every first party title. But if you look at Take-Two, or 2K did it with NBA, the latest NBA 2K title, where they were in fact the first title to launch with high dynamic range on Xbox One and support that feature. And so we certainly will see more third parties coming on board with that as well to really deliver a more impressive visual upgrade for the titles coming down.
Now, there's whispers of something else coming on the market, possibly a Scorpio. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, there's more than whispers. We announced it at E3. So Project Scorpio is a new console in the Xbox One range of consoles. So that'll be out holiday 2017, and really it's designed to give the next level, that next leap of power. You know, true 4K native games, high definition VR, and really, we're seeing it in the PC space that people are looking for hardware to really make the most of the screens and the content that they can play. And so really we wanted to make that big giant leap forward, significantly more powerful than the Xbox One today. But we also wanted to recognize that people shouldn't lose all of their content or all of their accessories or have to buy everything again every time we look to keep up with technology. So hence it's a new console in the Xbox One range of consoles, which includes the original Xbox One, now the Xbox One S, and Project Scorpio into next year. And all games will be forward and backward compatible. Your accessories will continue to work across the entire range. And we really, we don't want to leave anyone behind. You should have the level of confidence that as we bring out a new console, your content and everything just comes with it.
It's great as well, because then once again, we don't want to sort of force everyone to leave everything behind, and which is what you mentioned before. Right. So any news on a release date at all?
Holiday 2017. And watch this space, more to come.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking the time to talk about Xbox.
Thank you. Enjoy EB Expo.
Cheers, thank you.
Great.
That's a wrap for EB Games Expo 2016. Was it worth the experience? Well, compared to last year, where the issues were the long lines and the excessive amount of express passes sold, this year was handled better. However, it did feel a little lacking due to the inclusion of stalls and exhibits that have taken place of potentially more video games on the show floor. I personally didn't think it was necessary, as it didn't contribute to the idea of a large video gaming convention. This year, one session was $40, with the whole day being $70. Having the day split up into 2 sessions is a smart idea. However, the ticket prices do end up becoming more expensive compared to other conventions. On top of that, we've got the family, weekend, cosplay, express, and the ultimate gamer passes. And that doesn't even include the add-on tickets. Food-wise, it was varied, tasty, although a little expensive, but the drinks are fantastic. So, was the EB Games Expo in 2016 worth the experience? Well, It depends on what you're after. I bought an express pass for $200, and while I did have fun, it wasn't worth the price. Ticket prices should be reduced, and the event organizers need to figure out which direction they want the event to go. It either needs to be a full-on game convention like it was in 2013, or advertise itself as a pop culture event. Remember, this is the EB Games Expo, not the Zing Expo. We hope the organizers make the event better next year, and on that note, we'll see you for the next experience. Cheers.
Rock Band Legacy. I said it all wrong.
Okay, we'll do it again.
We'll do it. You said the wrong thing too.
You followed.
I know. That's what I was like. Wait a minute. That's not right.
I only work with professionals. I'm out of here.
Wait, don't finish. Mountain Dew!